Hi, everyone. Welcome back to WWW with Daryl Ann. I'm talking to you on a Sunday. It's actually Easter Sunday for those who celebrate it. And you might hear some noise. We have some celebrations going on around for family Easter Sunday occasions. So just wanted to give you that little caveat. So here we are. Now, we haven't talked for a little while, so I've got to remember what we talked about last, and I think I do. We talked about getting rid of Keith and don't let the door slam you in the ass, which is kind of the way we felt. So he's gone. Time went by. I got a divorce. We were legally divorced, and I think I mentioned that might have mentioned that in my last video that it was one of the happiest days of my life, one of the most incredible relief days of my life. I remember leaving the courtroom and actually feeling like I was floating when I was walking, floating like, no more legal entanglements. I don't care what he does. I don't care who he dates. I don't care where he goes. I'm done. It was really exhilarating, let me tell you. So, okay, now here we are. And I might have mentioned that during the time that we were married, he did encourage me to start my own business. And so I did. I actually did that during the time I was married to him. I started a turned out started to be small secretarial service in my home, taking work in from different companies because that was my experience. And I did a lot of marketing and canvassing, and I was able to get some clients and started to work in the basement of our home. It was a very large basement. And Keith also had an office down in that basement, kind of further away. And the first thing I did was I hired my wonderful longtime friend June to be my coworker. And it's the best thing I ever did. And June, here's to you, honey, because I couldn't have done the paperworks without June. And it was the paperworks. I also had an amazing amount of support from my old dear friends, Marion and George. Many nights trying to figure out marketing, signage. I got a small business loan from the bank. Back then, it was easier, although women businesses were not certainly anywhere near the way they are now. So I was kind of a phenomenon. Uh, so we started doing some work in my basement, and then things grew, and it got uncomfortable with Keith down there, as you can imagine. So time to move. So I found an office in a nearby town, and we set up office on the first floor of a building. And we put our signs up, paperworks is here. So back then, a lot of companies, including AT&T, it was still AT&T before it totally broke up into separate companies. Uh, they sent work out. If their staff could not handle it, they sent work out to services, to word processing back then services. So we were able to get some really, really great work. And eventually I started to hire more women on a rotating on call basis. I would call Paula, we need you today, come on in. All these women had kids and had never worked before. And it was wonderful, wonderful camaraderie that I could give them some work. Uh, they would sometimes come to the office, or I would be schlepping typewriters, yes, typewriters, back out to their houses so they could do the work. And the one thing that I kind of stands out to me was one day in the middle of the winter with the ice and the snow, I had to carry this big red typewriter into my car to bring it to Joanne's house, let's say. And I almost fell with the typewriter, but nope, got it in the car and out and off I went. So it was a lot of hard work, but it was so much fun. We had clients coming in that became friends. I can remember one guy, I wonder if June remembers, Charlie. Charlie was an old time customer, and he would just come in, really didn't give us any work, just to talk. And of course, I had the kind heart, did not charge my customers enough money, and we did superb work. We actually started taking in uh, transcribing work from the law enforcement agencies in the surrounding towns. So we would actually be listening to tapes of an actual arrest report. And oh my God, did we have laughs over that? Domestic abuse, we heard it all. We heard it all. And honestly, when I think back, I think about the laughter that we had. And June and I were laughers, and we were all laughers. And one day I hired a woman, Marilyn, who came in on an on-call basis. And I put a little wastebasket next to her. And she started working. She turned around and she said, "You gave me a teacup for a wastebasket." You know, what? What? And I know it doesn't sound funny to you, but I'm telling you, we died laughing. Then I hired some woman who had terrible body odor. I mean, she came in and for the interview, and she was so skilled. She was so good. I'm going to call her Doris. But oh gosh, she had a problem. And I thought, well, she's just here for the interview. When she comes to work, I'm sure it'll be fine. And excuse me, folks, it is Easter Sunday and it is Manhattan Day. I am having a Manhattan. I'm toasting to my grandfather. You remember that story. Hold on. I make them just the way they did. The old Irish custom. So anyway, the day Doris came into work, and it was still bad. I mean, it was really bad. And you know, everyone looking at me, Daryl, Daryl. I'm like, okay, let's just, you know, maybe tomorrow she'll be better. Well, she came back tomorrow, and it was just as bad. It was really even with the windows open, it was bad. So I had to call her in and say, Doris, you know, we when I hired you, I really thought that we were going to have this big project. And I got a call from one of our clients, and they're done. They're going to do work in house, and I'm afraid so sorry, but I'm afraid we don't need you for now. But of course, you know, you were coming in on a rotating basis, so I'm sure there's going to be more work, and I'm sure we're going to call you again. So, you know, so sorry. And she said, "Oh no, very disappointed," and off she went. And we opened the windows and we sprayed the office. And we always talked about Doris. And then one day we had a really rush job. I mean, it had to be out by 5 o'clock. So all hands on deck. We had to, instead of me delivering, as always, we called it a delivery service, and it was called Sir Speedy Delivery. And they said, "Oh yeah, the guy will come at 4. It'll be done. It'll be delivered by 5. Oh, thank God." So here we are, deadline, and the door to our office opens, and this old man came walking in, all bent over. And we said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Hi, I'm from Sir Speedy." And we all took a look at him, and we had to run into my little private office and get hysterical. I mean, we just got hysterical. He's Sir Speedy, okay? We, you know, had to compose ourselves, and I went out and said, "Oh, yes, now can you guarantee that this will be delivered by 5 o'clock?" "Oh, yes, ma'am, well, I got to deliver it by 5. And he crawled out of there. So 5 o'clock came, called the client. Yes, Speedy just arrived. Oh my God. We still talk about Sir Speedy. He was the original Sir Speedy, okay? So really, it was a fun time. It was a lot of hard work. You know, I was paying everybody a lot of money and not me. And, you know, the kids and I needed more money, and it got a little more difficult. So I had to make some decisions about what to do with the paperworks. And so I did make a decision. And I'm going to save that for the next talk, because you're going to love this one. This is really another chapter in the life, okay, of the paperworks. So during that time, I had then started to date a little bit. You know, let's face it, guys, I was, 40? I always kind of liked new things, and I had a lot of spirit and adventure, and I would just, you know, try things, safe things. And so I started to date a little bit, and I won't go into all the ins and outs and ups and downs and whatever, but there were a couple of marriage proposals during that time, which I knew were certainly not going to work for me. I mean, these guys had money, but wasn't everything for Daryl. I wasn't going to be controlled again by one person specifically. So that was the end of the dating for a while. And I really, you know, the kids, you know, needed me more, and I was still working hard, and I just really wasn't ready at that time. So it was really, you know, dealing with the house, the kids, and the paperwork at that point until I came to my big decision. So I'm going to save that for next. I think you'll enjoy it. And I want to wish you all a happy holiday, whether it's Passover or Easter. And it's really, really a great day here. It's nice and warm in the Northeast. We're finally seeing hope. And I just want to mention one thing about women and businesses. You know, I think about what a struggle it was back then. And I actually just realized that I had to take some. Oh, yeah, I took a company to court over women's discrimination. Uh, oh, I forgot that story. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can tell you that one the next time. I did have to take a company to court for discriminating against me as a small woman minority business owner. Anyway, again, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. And be strong, all of you. Be strong. And remember, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And enjoy those Manhattans or wine or whatever. Okay, bye bye.